That was my initial reaction too. The first time I saw the first Donald Trump assassination video, it was very strange to me. And then I saw him get right back up. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But the first time I saw this video, I immediately said to myself, I would be shocked if he survived it. I mean, that,
like that shot.
Yeah.
None of us are really celebrating this, and I really will co-sign what you said.
I'm not going to sit here and say anything nice about Charlie Kirk. I think he was a really bad guy. Was he a criminal? No. Did he kill anybody? No. But his rhetoric, his rhetoric was very dangerous. Listen, he attacked everybody across the spectrum. He said disgusting things about even the last couple seconds of his life. He was talking about
final words.
Yeah, his final words was talking about gang violence. You know, was it gang violence that killed him? No, it wasn't. I mean, that's the thing it's so ironic to me that in the last moments of his life, that's what he was talking about. Listen, if there's anything good, it's that he didn't suffer. It appears as though he was lights out. Yeah, lights out almost immediately. If you're going to go,
before he hit the floor.
Yeah, you want it to be fast. It's terrible that his wife and kids were there. I am not condoning, I know you would never either, Ryan, what took place. It's horrible for America. Forget about Charlie Kirk. It's terrible for America.
It's horrible for all of us.
Right. Political violence is terrible. But the fact of the matter that Trump is going to give this guy a medal is despicable. It's despicable.
And if I can, I just want to reiterate what you said in the beginning. As a veteran myself, it was really hard watching active duty military airmen like myself carrying Charlie Kirk's casket off of Air Force 2, knowing that that should never be happening, that many of our soldiers and politicians weren't afforded that type of honor, and that even it's just ridiculous. And it really cheapens the honor that we receive, that we fought for. Charlie Kirk never served this country. Charlie Kirk supported somebody who disparaged my brothers and sisters who gave everything for this country, gave their life for this country, gave years of their lives in the sandbox for this country. And to sit there and watch the military honor this dude in any way or be involved with him in any way, and then to see his family walking down like she's Jackie O, you know, after the Kennedy, oh my God, it's so hard to watch.
Yeah, that was difficult to watch too. And, you know, JD Vance there, you know, I certainly agree with you. But Charlie Kirk, to me, and you could tell me if you disagree with this, in some ways had a lot in common with this 22-year-old. Now, Charlie Kirk's not a murderer. You know, Charlie Kirk never broke the law, but they were both raised by very Christian, in this case, Mormon, with the shooter families.
Yeah.
They love their guns. We all know that Charlie Kirk constantly would make excuse after excuse after a mass shooting after a mass shooting. They both seem to love their guns. They're both young white males. I will say with the shooter, he seemed to be aligned with Nick Fuentes. At least those are the rumors. And he also posted a lot on right-wing entities. We know that for sure. Listen, there's a lot of pictures that are being photoshopped. What we know is that he's in like some sort of Donald Trump costume for Halloween. But I think most importantly, while we want him to go to jail for the rest of his life or get the death penalty, which I would be fine with.
Me too.
This was not the radical left. This was not a leftist. This was not Democrats. So. And I think that's important to note. And we won't see any of these right-wing idiots like Laura Loomer or any of these other morons like Eric Trump talking about transgenders 24/7. You won't hear them retract anything that they said. No. They so wanted this to be a transgender liberal Democrat with purple hair. Yep. That is not what this was. This was a 22-year-old young white male raised by a conservative Mormon family. That's what this is.
And people, go look at the folks who were saying, oh, they had transgender messages, scribed on the bullet casings. Go read up what they actually said. Go read up
so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Yep. So let's talk about that because that's more misinformation. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so this is what I've learned in doing my own research on this. It hasn't been officially confirmed, but some gun experts suggesting the bullets may have been produced by Turan ammo. Such bullets are stamped with the manufacturer's mark TRN. And if such bullets were used by the shooter, allegedly, it's possible that an overeager bigot saw TRN and interpreted that as trans instead of Turin. So these are the facts that are being brought out by the investigation, by the report. And I did some research on this. It says TRN. It probably has nothing to do with trans. It has to do with the ammo company.
That would not surprise me at all, brother. Like at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like something like take this. I don't know if I can say that word, so I'm not going to say it, but go read up what the bullet cases actually said. And again, it doesn't lead me to believe that this was a left-leaning, Democrat extremist. It's somebody, and let me ask you this, Brian, what sense would this make for us as Democrats? What's the gain here? Because from where I'm standing, this whole situation is a lose-lose for Democrats and our agenda, really. So it's like, what did we have to gain from this? And my second question is, if this guy was dressing up as Donald Trump, clearly grew up in an area that was very conservative, Mormon, what flipped in this guy to go after Charlie Kirk, who is pretty much, an ally of Trump's?
Well, it's interesting you bring that up. I do also find it timely and interesting that Charlie Kirk, this is one of the few things I agree with him on. And he just said this last week that he wanted the Epstein files to be released. I'm not saying that was a motive for the shooter. All I'm saying is I find that very, very interesting. And then Donald Trump is asked a little bit more, how are you holding up the loss of Charlie Kirk today? 2 seconds he talks about Charlie Kirk, and then he starts rambling about other stuff. It's just the whole situation is very
baseball game last night.
Yeah, very weird. You're talking about a baseball game, and supposedly this was your friend.
You're at the baseball game doing this, like
he has no empathy. He's a person. But Charlie Kirk is the guy that said empathy is a bad thing. It's dangerous. Now, what normal human being would make a statement like that? What normal human being would get on a plane and be worried if their pilot is black? These are the things that Charlie Kirk stood for. Okay, misogyny, sexism, racism, transphobia. And guess what? The last few seconds of Charlie Kirk's life, that's what he was talking about. He was, talking about trans shootings, and he said too many instead of saying the appropriate thing, which would have been, listen, there are very few people that have been responsible for mass shootings that are trans people. It's more of a gun problem than a trans problem. But no, he downplayed that, and he attacking trans and gang violence. What does he mean by that when he talks about gang violence? Black violence. That's what he's talking about. So the last words out of his mouth were, in my opinion, with racial tones. I mean, that's who Charlie Kirk was in the last 5 seconds of his life.
I mean, that's who he was, period. That's why I struggle to, responding with some of these people. They're doxing the left. They have a website dedicated to us where they're doxing all of us, and sending people after our employers and whatnot. I mean, these people have lost their minds. And Charlie Kirk, look, the facts are he was a racist and a bigot. Like, there's more than enough videos and statements from this guy to support that claim. Yep. I'm not pulling it out of thin air. It's not a partisan statement. It's a fact. The guy defined racist and bigot. So to see the government using taxpayer dollars, and by the way, if Donald Trump comes out and says, "Oh, I'm paying for Charlie Kirk shit," just want to remind you that all the money he has been siphoned out of us, the taxpayers. So we're still paying for it one way or the other.
I heard a story, and again, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard a story that Tiger Woods was donating some money. Which and again, I can't confirm that or not. I've heard that from a few people. I don't know if that's true. I'm just amazed that anybody that would be a minority would do. Now, listen, if you care about his kids and his family, that makes sense to me. But Charlie Kirk is somebody that, for me at least, will always be remembered as a very hateful person who did a lot of bad. Now, if MAGA Republicans out there want to say, "Oh, he was this great person, he would have been the president one day," I hope he would have never been the president. But I listen, people out there could have different opinions on politics, but to me, this isn't about policy. To me, this was about hate.
Hate, human rights, so many of us say this. We can disagree on policy. If you don't think we should fund, public schools, I don't mind having that debate with you on why it's a bad idea to defund public schools. That's a political debate to me. Right. But when you start debating about a person's, validity based off of their skin color, or you start dismissing their accomplishments because they must have been a DEI student or higher, those aren't political issues. Those are social issues. And in that context, Charlie Kirk was one of the leading hateful people spreading the rhetoric and dividing America. His whole platform was literally about dividing America. And on top of that, he was going in and using the propaganda that he pushed in
Right.
colleges and even in high schools. So
Mhm.
what he was honestly doing for the conservative right wing was being their recruiter at the college and high school levels.
Yep.
Like, he was dangerous.
Yep. I agree. And again, I go back to saying what we both have been saying over the course of the last several days. He did not deserve this. This is horrible. I feel for his family.
Celebrating it.
Yeah, we're certainly not celebrating it in any way, shape, or form. I was very emotional the other day not because I felt so horrible for Charlie Kirk so much as the circumstances of it, his family, everybody that was there. It was gruesome, and it's bad for America. And it was emotional to have to talk about that. And I was supposed to be debating Charlie Kirk in some sort of roundtable debate in December in Phoenix. Obviously, that's not going to happen. And listen, I'm tired of people, when a tragedy happens, blaming transgenders or blaming a political party. We need to talk
Before
about
we even know who it is.
Right. Let's talk about guns. Let's talk about how easy it must have been for this 22-year-old to get his hand on this weapon. Let's talk about guns getting in the hands of the wrong people. Let's try to save lives. I don't care what the color of their skin is. I don't care whether they're a Republican or a Democrat. MAGA Republicans refuse to do that. They refuse to do that. Have any of them even mentioned once, how did this 22-year-old get his hands on this gun? Clearly, he was mentally deranged. No, the radical left. Blame the radical left. And I'm so tired of it. These MAGA Republicans, they have no solutions. None. Zero.
Nope. No, and then when you call for gun control, they get mad at you. Like, that's your solution? It's like, yeah.
Or you're
like,
making
do you have something
political.
better?
Yeah, you're making it political, even though for the last 3 or 4 days, all they've been doing is blaming the left for the shooting, not even knowing who the shooter was.
Exactly. So it's just kind of like, okay, there's no reasoning with these people. And unfortunately, exactly what a lot of us were worried about is what's happening, is that it is only making the divide between the sides even wider and deeper. And like you, I was actually live on my show with Marcus Flowers, and we were talking about it because 5 minutes before we went on is when everything started dropping. So we opened the show with it, and then we did an update, and about 40 minutes in, somebody sent me the video, and you can see my face.
Yeah.
As I watch the video, my face literally almost turns white. And
yeah, I mean, yeah, mine did too, Ryan.
And I say, like, I didn't mean to say it. It was my reaction, and I kind of forgot I was live for a second, and I literally watched the video for a second time, and I go, if this video is real, Charlie didn't make it.
Yeah, so that was my initial reaction too. The first time I saw the first Donald Trump assassination video, it was very strange to me. And then I saw him get right back up. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But the first time I saw this video, I immediately said to myself, I would be shocked if he survived it. I mean, that,
Like
that
said,
shot, yeah.
Look, none of us are really celebrating this. And I really will co-sign what you said. As horrible as this is, and it's unspeakable. At least the man didn't suffer.
Yeah, it looked like he was out cold before he even
was
drowned. So yeah,
I said I'm interested. I don't know if they're going to do one because they flew him back here to Phoenix so quickly. But I was interested in the autopsy because I said I think it probably hit his spine and severed something, which is a good thing in that case.
That's what it appears. I've talked to some doctors who talk about, when your shoulders go up like this and you clench like that, usually that means it's a spinal cord.
It's like a football player. It reminded me of a football player that got a head injury. He stiffened up instantly.
Before he hit the ground, he was unconscious.
Look, guys, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And I think before he kicks me off the show here, the one thing I want to leave you all with is this can be a tipping point for civil unrest, or it can become a call to action. And in my opinion, and I hope the right wing can hear this, if you guys want to truly honor Charlie Kirk and you want to really solidify his legacy in this country, then why don't you use his assassination, his murder, as the reason that we all get on the same fucking page? Because the same day that this was happening, there was another shooting at a school. So I'm tired of it, and we all need to do something about it. And if this isn't what brings us together, man, I don't know what's going to do it.
Ryan, I think that's really well said, my friend, and I agree with you 100%. Before I let you go, give out those social media platforms that you have, and of course the 2 podcasts that you are presently doing at the moment.
Yeah, thanks, brother. So, like I said, I do a great podcast with Marcus Flowers, who ran against Marjorie Taylor Greene in Georgia. He's still doing great things with a Hold the Line pack. And so we have a show called With All Due Respect on Wednesdays. And then I have my OG show, which is Hold the Mic with my good friend Ian Sherman. And so, yeah, please come to my YouTube channel. It's Ryan Shead, SHEAD. We're on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. Oh, and thank you to everybody. I just hit 100,000 on Instagram. So
awesome.
Thank you to all of you for helping me get there. Greatly appreciate you.
Well, thank you for coming on, Ryan, as always, and congratulations on that. That's awesome. I don't even have an Instagram page, so I have to.
We got to fix that.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things I have to fix with my life. That's just one of them. But
we'll get
Ryan,
there, brother. We'll get there.
And Ryan's going to be out here in Vegas real soon. So
Yes.
Ryan's going to to be real soon. So
I
certainly,
can't wait, man. I can't
certainly
wait.
I look forward to that, Ryan, to actually meet you in person. That would be
I
fun.
know.
That'd be cool. All right. Well,
Great.
Ryan, thanks